Hey, boys and girls. Today is lesson 22. We're on session 2, and we're on page 495. That way. Okay, so we're on page 495. At the top, it says Nora picks 52 apples. Nick picks 25 apples. Who picks more apples? Remember, this week you're not adding, subtracting, you're just talking about which one is greater or more, and which one is fewer or less. Remember, few and less mean the same thing, and greater and more mean the same thing, okay? They just use different words, so don't let that trick you. When you have a word problem, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to circle the numbers. You figure out what numbers you're dealing with. So this is a try it. So again, that means if you want to pause it and watch it after you solve it on your own first, great. If you just want to stay with me, that's great too. Okay. So the first thing I have Nora. And I also have Nick. Now, Nora picks 52 apples and Nick picks 25 apples. Who picks more? So if I were to solve this, I would look first at the ones column. Well, Nick has more than Nora does. But then if I go to the tens column, look at that. Nora has 5 and he has 2. So let's draw it out in base 10 just to see. I could draw this as 5 sticks of 10 and 2 dots, or I could count on. So I'm going to do the first one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 dots. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52. Now with Nick's, I'm going to count on as I draw 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Remember, our book puts the dots, the cubes, in columns like the White House of 5 each. So now if I look at the picture, I can clearly see Nora has 5 groups of 10, which I know is 50. And Nick has 2 groups of 10, which is 20. So Nora has more apples, right? So you would write Nora picks, and then it has to be a complete sentence. You can't just say Nora picks more. Nora picks more what? Picks more berries, picks more for her lunch. Nora picks more apples. You have to tell them what she picks more of, okay? So beautiful handwriting, finger spaces, capital to start, punctuation to end, and it makes sense. Okay. The next page has model it. So it has the same problem where you're comparing 52 and 25. We're on page 496 now. So what it does is it talks about the ones, and then it says compare the tens. So 5 tens is greater than 2 tens. So remember our alligator? It goes like this. It goes, alligator eats the biggest number. The alligator eats the biggest number. You normally have your arms up like this, but I'm in a tiny space, so I'm not going to do that. But you put your arms up. What the heck? Why not? The alligator eats the biggest number. That's what you do. So the alligator goes and eats the more, right? Because you don't want the least amount. You want the most. You're the hungriest. You want the most. You want more cake. You want more candy. You want more food. You want more water. So remember that with the alligator. So down at the bottom, it says you can use the greater than symbol. So it shows 5 tens is greater than 2 tens. So I'm going to erase this. And now I'm using a pair of socks if you're following along for my eraser still, if you remember that. So I would write 52 and 25. The alligator is going to eat the biggest number. This is him. This is greater than. And look, he's got his like alligator eyes. Oh, and he's looking around. So the alligator is going to go there. How you read this is 52 is greater than 25. All right. Nora is what you're going to put in that first line. Nora picks more apples than Nick. Nora picks more apples than, remember when you're comparing, you use than with the A, than Nick. Hard CK says k, k, k. Good job, friends. Turn the page. We're on to page 497. So how is your way like model it? How is it different? Well, ours was pretty similar, right? We drew it in base 10. Number 2, how did using base 10 blocks help you compare 52 and 25? So for that one, I think drawing it helps you see it better. So this might be a little bit harder to see and to visualize which one is more, but when you draw it in base 10, you can look and say, oh, it's clear that Nora has more. So I'll write that in a sentence, a complete sentence. Reset to. So for number 2, how did using base 10 blocks help you compare 52 and 25 to find the greatest number? 2. It helps you see the amount better. That's what I think. Okay, OU says ow. It helps you see the amount better. I could clearly see that I had 5 groups, which is more than 2 groups of 10. All right, number 3, Dave has 13 crayons. Ari has 21 crayons. Compare 21 question mark 13. So this is where hot tamales ouch comes into play. Really easy. So if you have 21 and you have 13, remember hot tamales ouch, hot tamales ouch. Hundreds, tens, ones, hundreds, tens, ones. You make your little hundreds, tens, and one chart, call it a hot tamales ouch chart. Okay. Plug those numbers in. 21, 1, 3. I can clearly see that my 21 is going to be greater than 13 because 21 is greater than 13 because I have 2 10s here and here I only have 1. I may have more 1s here, but it takes a lot more 1s to beat these 10s. And every time you get 10 1s, they turn into a group of 10. Every time you get 10 10s, it turns into a group of 100. So down below it says blank 10s is greater than blank 10, period. And then down below, you're going to put what this is. So 21 is greater than 13. Blank 10s is greater than blank 10. So 2 10s is greater than 1 10. If I have $20, right, 2 10s, it's better than $10 bills or a $10 bill, right? Yeah, it's greater than. Nice. Next page is number 4. Roberto has 48 fish. Rena has 24 fish. Who has more fish? So we're going to plug these numbers into our hot tamales ouch chart. Hundreds, tens, and ones. Number 4. Circle the numbers. Roberto has 48 and Rena has 24. Now I'm going to plug these in. Well, first let's draw them in base 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. Remember, when you get 5 in a column, you're going to stop and go to the next one. 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Now I'm going to draw my hot tamales ouch, and I'm going to plug it in, both of these numbers, into my hot tamales ouch chart. So I have 48 and 24. You always start at the ones column when you're filling in a number. I don't have 240. I have 24. So here I can see I have 4 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4 tens. That matches. 8 ones. I drew 5, 6, 7, 8 ones. 2 tens, 4 ones. Perfect. So then it says blank tens is greater than, remember that, than blank tens. So which one's greater than? Well, 4 tens is greater than 2 tens. So Roberto has more than, what's her name? Rena. And it would look like this. 48 is greater than 24. Roberto is going to be the first line. Rena is the second line. Next up for problem number 5, we're comparing 45 and 63. So if I compare those numbers, it says which number is greater. So I have tens and ones, tens and ones. So here we just have tamales, ouch. Tamales, ouch. All right. So I'm going to put in 45 and the other one was 63. Blank tens is greater than blank tens. So which one is greater than? 4 or 6? 6 is greater. 6 tens is greater than 4 tens. So I would write 63 is greater than 45. So 63 is going to go first. Whenever you have greater than, the biggest number goes first. Then the smaller number. 63 is greater than 45. All right, I think that's, oh, nope, we have 2 practice pages. Today's kind of a long day, and that's okay. So we're going to keep going. The green pages are the practice pages. So it feels like a lot, but it's really just making sure that you understand. Okay. Number 1 on page 499. Number 1. Compare 65 and 42. Which number is greater? 65 and 42. So I'm going to do 65, 42. Blank tens is greater than blank tens. So they broke it down for you. They've already put in the tens and ones. Hopefully you can see 6 tens is greater than 4 tens. So you would write it out as 65 is greater than 42. When the biggest number is first, it's a greater than. 65 is greater than 42. Next up is number 2. It says compare 29 and 88. Which number is greater? 29. Let's see. 29 versus, so I'm going to keep my greater than symbol there because I know that's what we're working on. We're working on is greater than. 29 and 88. Wow. So now I'm going to look and see which tens is greater. Well, 8 tens is greater than 2 tens. So 88 goes first because it's the biggest number. 88 is greater than 29. And we're going to keep going. So this is what we're going to do for number 3. Compare 37 and 47. Which number is greater? I think they're trying to trick us with numbers that are kind of similar. 37 and 47. So don't look at the ones, you're just going to go right to the tens. 4 is greater than 3. So 4 tens is greater than 3 tens. The biggest number goes here. 47 is greater than 37. Right, number 4 just wants you to find a number greater than 62 and write it in the blank. That's fun. You could choose my number. You could do a number of your own. So it wants you to do greater than 62. Greater than 62. So this could be 63, 64, 88, 1,000, 100, 99. Whatever you want, as long as it's greater than 62. 63 is greater than 62. Can it be 61? No, that's less than. 60? No, that's less than. So any number you want that's higher than. It could be 100. Okay, good job, boys and girls. I will see you tomorrow for more math. Good job today.